discuss tips, tricks, and techniques for you, the designer. We are going to be talking about today creating what we are going to label as being a church flyer. Church design flyers. They're commonly seen on Facebook here and there, and they're also sometimes seen on other platforms, maybe like Twitter or Instagram. Whenever they have a church event coming up, you better believe there's also going to be a flyer attached to it. Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. So yes, we're going to also discuss a little, a few tips and tricks that I do. Sometimes I find it helpful, and then there's other times that sometimes somebody may say, hey, I know a better way, and I'm always open to suggestions. So make sure that you just leave comments and you leave shares and likes and all that good stuff. And this doesn't also, it just doesn't leave you with just church flyer designs. This can also go across the board for club flyers, anything. It can be even movie posters. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and going to let you guys see exactly how it all goes down. So originally what you're seeing right here, I have put together like a really quick layout of what I kind of pieced together and said, I would kind of like to have a church flyer, something really quick that I, threw together, maybe like about 15 minutes, something like that. But I told the guy, I said, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna definitely spend a little bit more time. So a little bit more time, hopefully in this case would be like a half an hour total to be able to come up with something nice and something quick for the guy. All right, so this was done in Illustrator. As you can see, there's various pieces here. We have all these triangles and stuff like that. And we're going to go ahead and take this to another level. We're going to go straight into Photoshop. For Photoshop, we have here a clean piece of digital paper. And we're going to jump straight into my libraries. And I already created a Creative Cloud library folder. And if you're not familiar with libraries, it's something that comes with your free with your subscription. Once it loads up, once it chooses to load up here, I'll be able to show you. Okay, here we go. And what it allows you to be able to do is to collect items. I guess you can call it, I guess commonly used items. You're able to save like different fonts and save it to a library that you would commonly use with a particular client. Same thing with colors. They have special effects down here. They also have images. And so once this spinning beach ball of death decides to leave, then we'll go ahead and dive straight into this client's folder, in which is called New Evergreen. So you would click on that, and here you have some artwork. This artwork is indicated right here off to the side, AI, meaning that it was created in Adobe Illustrator. And instead of it being artwork 1, I can just go ahead and double click on it, and I can change it to logo, because that's what it is. It's a logo. And this font right up here, same thing with that too. I can go ahead and I can call this main font. All right. And so he also gave me a photograph to work with, and we're going to dive into that first. So I'm going to place the photograph using Shift Command P. I think that's the way I have it set up. I'm not sure if that's the way it is with other just default, but I use placing objects often. Okay. And what it allows you to be able to do is it allows you to be able to jump in here by double clicking on this icon. When you double click on it, it opens up in its own separate window once the spinning beach ball of death decides to disappear. I don't know why that thing keeps popping up like that. I don't know. It seems like ever since I had upgraded to the El Capitan on my Mac here, it's just been like an ongoing thing. Kind of annoying. But anyways, here we are. This is what the pastor provided me with. Sometimes people may freak out and look at this and be like, oh my gosh, like, this is not the type of photo I want to work with. And trust me, this is all like brand new to me, meaning that It's my first time seeing this photo. It was given to me not too long ago, and I don't know the dimensions of it, but we're going to find out here shortly exactly what these dimensions are. Okay, so I'll go to image size, and it's set as 72 dpi. That's the resolution, and yeah, those are the pixels right there. And I guess that's decent. I mean, you have to take what you can, what you work with, and you have to make it work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a quick selection tool, and I'm just going to start selecting. And when you click on it, like Photoshop is smart enough to realize, oh, he wants to select that, he wants to select that. And this is for people who don't feel like taking the time. Like right now, I don't feel like taking the time to cut this guy out, which cutting out is the best way to get it precise. But I'm doing a quick select here. And it works fairly well. I mean, like you see right there, it kind of picked up in the background, but I'm not going to freak out about that because you can deselect without having to deselect everything here. Let me zoom in a little bit on her arm. That's his hand, his finger in the back, showing that he really loves her. Yeah. Okay. We're getting it. We're almost there. Almost there. Uh-oh. I selected a little bit too much. Okay, cool. Now, what you do is if you hold down Option or Alt, and you see that little plus sign that's in the middle, it'll turn to a minus, and that means that you're getting ready to cut away. So you're just diving in here, and you're just clipping, cutting away. All right. And then if you really, really want to get down and try to get some of this more the selection here to be precise, because like right here, like you're missing a piece of her knuckle there. What you can do is you can whoops, hold on, you gotta hold down shift this right here. You hold down shift and you kind of draw in the area that you want to pick up. And as you can see right there, it works like a charm. Okay, like if you don't want a particular piece, you can cut it out. So also, let's see, I want to make this a little cleaner, so I'm just holding down shift. You see it's the plus sign. I'm just going down the edge, and I'm just cleaning it up just a little bit, because again, this is a quick selection tool that you were using before. It's not going to get everything. It's just like, you know, it's just really a real quick way to jump in there and get the ball rolling without having to spend too much time. Let's see, that looks like that's part of, yeah. It goes on her dress, pant leg. That's cool. All right, going up, checking around the rest of it, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. All right, now what I do next is I redefine the edge. And as you can see, it's going up against a black background, and you have this option. So you can change it if you want it to be marching ants. They call it the marching ants. How hilarious of Adobe. Or you can hit it as an overlay, and that will show you just how precise your cutout is going to be. And like you can see right there, that's letting you know, like, you know what, that's going to get cut out. I don't want that to be cut out. You can also have it on black, and as you can see, that's going to be cut out too, but we don't want that. Or it could be on white. Or you can have the black and white, depending on how you want to look at the edges to see just how much of a blur you're working with. And that looks decent. but I'm going to get those 2 polka dots real quick. So before I do that, let me hit cancel, and holding down shift, you're able to select that edge and circle around it. Hold down shift, you're adding. And then you can scroll down, and down right here by her dress, this is all wall. Hold down option, and it goes from being a plus to a negative. And you just go up along the edge or whatever it is. Go down, and then it cuts that out also. And then I go back up to my, sorry about that, back up to my redefine edge, and things look decent enough for me. So I'm gonna take the radius, and I'm gonna bump that up, and that's like the smart radius, about 1. The smoothness, let me go up a little bit, feather it just a pinch, and then my edge, I'm gonna shift the edge in, and I'm really looking at the hair. And though I know that there's some white right there, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna go. I can fix that in post or pre. And I also see that there's a cutout here. That's fine. We're just going to say that this is okay, and I'll show you how you can fix that in case if you happen to miss it. So you hit OK. You're like, all right, that's cool. But I see that part of the shirt is missing. You will just select the mask area over here, and you'll hit B for paintbrush, and so you make that a little smaller. And we're going to paint in white. Let's see. Back out. Okay. That actually looks like that's his shirt. Man, I was fooled. Let's go in on her hair. See, make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to flip that around. And we're just going to cut out that little white area. Okay, cool. Now I see that it's like really blurry here, and I'll just go ahead and while I'm on this same layer, while I'm on the mask layer, I'm gonna hold down M and I'm gonna hit L, and that's gonna pull up my levels, and that's gonna allow you to be able to sharpen that up. So if you pull in your highlights, because the highlighted area, whatever's white, solid white, that's what's going to be visible. We want to make more of the inside visible. So right now, if you were to look at this in a scale between black and white, this would be considered gray. So over here, I'm going to take this this toggle, and I'm going to pull that in. And as you can see, it's starting to fill in that edge, but it's still keeping it blurry. Now, if I was to go like this, it'll be harsh and ugly, because that's going completely over into the dark area. You don't want to be over in the dark area. You just want to pull that back just a little bit. Just dial it back a little. Kind of zoom out. Make sure that you can kind of see what's going on. And you're like, oh, okay, that looks decent. So like this is like what I consider to be a dirty cutout. And I'm going to hit OK. And the reason why I call it a dirty cutout is because I didn't go in with a pen tool, this thing right here, and take my time and went along the edge and did it perfectly, like perfect. There's people out there who would spend a good hour just going along the edge, getting the hair just right, perfect. And trust me, it's well worth it, because in the end, it's like the best cutout. It's crisp. Everything is just, it's better than what it is right here. But again, this is quick. All right, so what I have here is a quick dirty cutout, and I'm going to now do trim. And the purpose of me doing a trim is because I just want just this box. All this dead space up here, I don't want all that. Because if I want to be able to grab, let's say for example, I'll go ahead and Let me see. I don't want to hit. Okay, I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm gonna hit save. Hold on a second. Let's do it like this. All right, going back over here. All right, cool. Let's say I take this right and I pull that back over here. And like the way that it's like, you know, like super small, but it has like all this dead space up here. I don't want all that dead space. Okay, so I'm going to go like that. Let's see, undo. All right. Let's see. Go back to my download. I'm going to trim it. Transparent pixels. So based on the transparent pixels, when you click that, it's going to crop all that in for you. Just like that. And then another beautiful thing that you can do is you can hit, let's see, don't want to do that one, save as. And I'm going to save that in their folder, New Evergreen Church. And I'm going to just call this pick. All right. And then I can just call it pick down here, pick.png. And what it's going to do is it's going to automatically create a PNG for me once I turn on the image assets. That's just one of those little cool things that Adobe threw in, that they're always constantly making these sweet updates. All right, so I'm going to delete this picture. Command P. I'm going to place that in there, and there you have it. So now they're in this picture. Now, let me tell you what he wants. What he wants to have is a picture of him and his wife on a cool background, and he wants this logo. I'm just going to take this logo right here. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to just drag it in, pull it in. He wants this up top, and he wants, and that's all. And he wants it also to say that, you know, we love our church. We heart our church. And he wants it like on a cool background. And how are we going? And then also his name, you know, Pastor Goins and his wife. Okay, so a shortcut way to be able to create a cool background. Let's go and create a new tab. Let's say, for example, I could go in and say abstract background. And then I can pull an image. Let's say I could pull that, and it's a nice size, and it would do the trick really easy. But let's say that if you don't want to go that route, let's say you really want to create something that's that's original, that's you. You can still go ahead and select the image. You can select almost any image you want to. Like for example, I'll say the Eiffel Tower. Let's see. I don't know how to spell the Eiffel Tower. Maybe if it'll Eiffel Tower. There we go. Eiffel Tower. All right. I can go in and I can grab a really high resolution picture. Let's go larger than 4MP. All right, that looks pretty cool. So I'll just go ahead and select that. And let's copy this image. Bring it over into Photoshop. And you're probably thinking to yourself, like, what in the heck? Let's see, and that may not be big enough, but again, we're doing like a really cool abstract background. So let's pull it up. Let's make it big. Matter of fact, you could turn it sideways even. Make it big like that. And you can stretch it out like so. And then we're just going to have fun with it. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to make it non-destructive. So I'm going to turn this into a convert to smart object. Give it a second to do its thing. All right, cool. And then we're going to go to filter. This is like, again, this is like a really quick tip. Anybody can do this. You want to go to, let's see, motion blur. And then just bump it up. Hit the blur. And then you do it again. You hit Command F because it's already in there. And it's throwing it on top of it. Down here. As you can see, there's 2 blurs on top. All right, and then you could do it again. Blur or Command F. And you can tell, like, you can't even tell that that's the picture of the Eiffel Tower. Because you done gave that Olin Mills, for people who are old enough to understand or remember Olin Mills. That's what you're basically doing to this background. You're just giving it the Olin Mills approach, or you're giving it the Olin Mills treatment. Okay, and because the picture is small, we don't want to blow it up too big or else it'll start to get pixelated. So let me go ahead on our picture. I'm going to blow it up a little bit, just a pinch. Like, I think that that's decent enough. Move it up some. That's cool. All right. Gonna move fairly quick here. Gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw a box on there. This is gonna be for their name, where their name is gonna go. All right, creating a new layer. And we're just gonna make that box black for right now. Let's see. Cool. All right. And then another little thing that I like to do is I like to add a little vignette. And some people probably say, like, what is a vignette? A vignette is kind of like adding like shadow around the edge. I'll show you. So I add a new layer. I fill that with white. And I also turn that into, I convert that into a smart object. And then I go up to my filter, and you go to lens correction, click on that. And then you go to custom, and right down there at the bottom you have vignette, and it says lighten, or you want to go darken. You want to darken it. And there you have it. You have your instant vignette. The midpoint, I like to pull it down a little bit. So it has this subtle, well, not so subtle now, but it has this gradient from the center white where it's not affected, and it goes all the way out into your darker corners there. And I hit OK. Boom, it puts it on there. And then I go to like multiply, or sometimes overlay, depending on what type of effect you're trying to go for. I'm gonna go more of like let's see what hard light looks like. Whoa, that's too. Oh yeah, the hard light plays more on the white that's on the center. So we're gonna go not hard light, soft light. It kind of washes it out. Let's go back to multiply. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. All right, and then I'm gonna make them a little lighter, because right now they're kind of too dark. So I'm going to go and put a layer filter on top of them, levels. And so that only they're being affected, I'm going to go ahead and hold down Option and hover in between those 2 layers. And when I click, everything that I do on my adjustment layer is only going to affect the picture that is directly underneath. And I want to make this a little brighter. I want to bring up some of that. So as you can see, that's bringing it up some. And it's like, cool. All right. And I'm going to blend them into the background a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of glow, outer glow, to them. So we're gonna see, where's the outer glow? We have an outer glow, just something subtle, nothing too much, too serious. But we want it there just a pinch. And you also want to do an inner glow, because like that's one thing that some people miss, is that when they put an outer glow, it looks mega fake because they fail to have the glow wrap around. It's called wraparound light, or light that wraps around the individual. It's never just on the outside. There's always a little bit of inside glow. So we're gonna go to inner glow. We're gonna turn that on. Let's see, let's zoom in so we can see exactly what's happening here. Turn opacity up. Take it off the screen. Let's go try overlay, or better yet, lighten. How about normal first? All right, going to see here in just a second how well this is going to blend in. Screen. Overlay. No, overlay. Okay. That seems to work a little better. Soft light. It's not too harsh, but you can tell that it is there. All right, cool. And then another thing that I like to do is I like to take some of the background here and like throw that onto their body, as far as like some of the light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this layer here, duplicate it, rendering smart levels, images. That's cool. All right, cool. Take, and I'm going to throw this on top so you can't see them. Go up here. I'm going to hold down Command and I to invert that selection. Then I'm going to add, while I'm still on this layer that's selected above, I'm going to hit this mask. And then it shows, it pops them back up again, because right here, that's what's controlling that, this mask. And then I'm going to blur that mask just a little bit. I learned this technique from a magazine, Photoshop magazine, some time ago. So we're going to go to Gaussian blur. Now you see how that's kind of like causing them to fall a little bit more into that picture. It's because you're taking some of that color around them and you're throwing it, quote unquote, onto their body. And I'll zoom in so you can really understand what I'm talking about here. Like you see how like he has like this slight blue that's onto his skin because of the blue background behind him. And then you don't catch that down here. You catch more of like this beige off white onto her skin and onto her clothes. Same thing that's going on with her hand right here. So it's another trick, another technique that you can use when it comes to taking a photo and putting the people or the object, whatever, into this abstract background. Okay, and of course it's not perfect. Nothing beats actually having to do the light right yourself, but it gets it done, you know. Okay, so looking at what I have now, thinking to myself, okay, what can I do with this logo in the back? Okay, not too thrilled about the logo, but this is what I was given. This is what I'm going to work with. All right, so let's see. Let's try, what can we do to spruce this thing up? Maybe add add a drop shadow perhaps to it. A little drop shadow might help that out. Change the direction on it. Change the size on it. Tone it down just a bit. See, multiply. Let's try burn. Sometimes burn works a little better. It helps to pull the color that's actually behind it to make it kind of, you know, give it the feel that it is actually sitting on top of it instead of it just being a straight gray up underneath. And I'm gonna add another up underneath that. I'm gonna change that from burn to multiply. So you kind of get this whole color thing going. Like if I was to take that first drop off, then it kind of gives you just that plain boring, oh, you can tell that's just a gray black, you know, drop shadow on it. But if you add some color to that, it makes it look a pinch realistic, a little bit more realistic. It plays a little bit more to it. I don't like what's happening up here with this dove. And that's cool. Let's see here. Let's see. Maybe if I turn this down just a little bit more. And if it was up to me, I would take that dove and I would make it white, but it's not my logo. And I don't feel like putting in that much work on this. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. Okay, now I'm also thinking to myself, like, okay, he wants on here, you know, we love our church. Let's see, what can we do to make this background even a little bit more interesting? A little more interesting. The typical thing that people throw in church flyers, it could be a little old school, but let's go old school. It's like clouds. Like, how in the world do clouds work? Okay, let's go back here and let's look at some clouds. Big bubbly clouds. Okay, do we want a top view of clouds? Or do we want like a bottom view of clouds? Let's go with that's freaking beautiful. Oh gosh, I used this one right here some years ago. This one right here on a church magazine cover. That turned out pretty dope. But let's go with let's go with this one. This one looks pretty cool. All right, gonna copy that. Come back over here, and we're gonna go beneath the logo, on top of them. Pull that up some, because it's only gonna be up here, which is where we're gonna have it at. Pull that up. Let's see. Yeah, I may even just go ahead and throw that up, throw them underneath it. Let's see. Okay. We gotta do it like this. And we'll just change the setting. That overlay is a little too much. We're gonna go with soft light. And also too, I'm gonna make that black and white. So I'm gonna just try this, go Shift, Command U, and it takes the color out of it. And then we're going to also bring up the contrast on this so you can see a little bit more of what's going on in the background. Cool. All right, also too, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, this vignette is a little bit too much distracting. So we're gonna tone that down too. Cool. There we go, and it's ever so subtle. And with this clouds in the background on this side, I'm not feeling too much because you have these real obvious lines that's going across here. So like that's just enough. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my cloud layer and I'm going to put a mask on it, layer mask, go to gradient. It's already set to black and white. And whatever is black is going to be hidden. So I don't want the clouds to be hidden too much. Let's see. I'm just playing around with just some various angles. Seeing what works. It's a lot of trial and error. All right, cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. All right, and let's see. Still looking up at that logo. I'm probably going to take and add a ball of light just to kind of help that dove out. That dove up there struggling like a mug. Like I can't be seen. Okay, cool. We're going to go on. Take that off, and we're going to blur this out. So blur gallery, no, not blur gallery, just regular blur. Gaussian blur. All right, cool. Hit OK. Hit that little blur on it one more time. The reason why I take such a long time for it to go through is because this file is big. Let's see, that was too strong of a blur. Let's see, let's go with Gaussian blur again. Nope, too strong. Let's go back into Gaussian blur. Take it down to 185 instead of being 600. And then we're going to stretch it out some. Okay, there we go. That helps him out. He's happier now. He's like, yeah, I have to be seen. All right, and then also down here at the bottom, that's a little, in my opinion, a little too harsh for my liking, but that's not a problem. What we'll do is, on a layer above, do the same thing. Create a little circle, fill it with some white, get rid of the marching ants by hitting Command D, and we're going to hit Command F to repeat the last filter that we just got finished using. It's all good. Take it down to the corner. Hold on 1 second. Got to put it on a layer all by itself, but that's okay. Try it again. Try it again. Fill it. And F. Cool. Now we just take it down to the bottom corner. And then we're just going to blow it up. blow it up a bit, and move it around till it's like, okay, that's just right. So that's cool. That looks decent. Okay, now for their names. Let's see. Let's go ahead and stick their names in there. Copy. And going to T. Draw a little box for their names. And Command V, put it in there. See, select it. Make this a little bigger. Let's make it white for right now. Cool. See, copy. Because I put the box there. I really don't like using text boxes unless I'm using like for paragraphs. I'm just going to have this one just be freestanding by itself. And I'll just have to make the adjustments as I need it. Cool. Put that right there like that. Going to adjust this bar. Pull it up a little bit, like so. Nudge them down just a pinch, their names, rather. All right, and then I'm feeling like they need some type of something to make them appear to glow a little bit more from the back, like some type of light. So I'm just gonna go behind them, add another layer, create another circle here, and I'm going to fill it with white. Like that. Let's see. And let me see. I'm gonna put this on up top. There we go. And we're going to use the last blur that we used, the last filter. And then we're going to Command T to transform it. I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit. Stretching that. And I'm gonna drop it down some. Cool, I'm gonna hold down Option, Shift, drag. Let me just pull that down here. Cool. Playing with this light and white. White and light. All right, now let me think. Let's see. Let me see. Gotta go grab a heart real quick. Oh, something that's quick and easy. Let's see, this black heart looks pretty cool. Copy image, pull it over. Cool. Bring this up top so it won't be affected too much. Let's see, we heart our church. Thinking maybe in the middle. Oh, and don't worry, I'm gonna change the color. The color's not gonna be this ghastly black. Let's see. Let's have a little fun with this up here first. Try some stuff. Let no multiply, let no burn. Let me see, let me change the opacity on it. All right, enter, CV. And what I'm doing is I'm just holding down shift and I'm hitting the minus key to scroll through the layer effects. Let's see. Overlay, but then let's take this opacity down some. Cool. So it's just kind of subtle in the background that there is a heart there. And then I can also copy it, transform, tilt. Nothing too serious. Same thing over here. Take it, tilt it. Probably make this a little bit smaller. Throw it in there so people can see that it's a heart. Let's go back to this one. Duplicate it. Shrink it down. And put it over there. Maybe put one over here even. Cool. Take all these hearts and let's throw them in a group. Heart. Hearts. So I know what I'm working with. And let's take this heart, pull it down here. Turn the opacity all the way up. And turn it just a pinch. All right, cool. So I like that, and I might just throw a little bit of, let's see what happens if I put a little blur. Not blur, inner glow on that. Yeah, that looks decent. See the size. Cool, that works. All right, and then, let's see. I may even just use that effect on all the other ones. If that's the case, let me see. I might take that effect, throw it on top of that folder. No, that didn't work. Let's try this. Copying it. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. It's the little slight things that you might not see, but it's like it's there. And it definitely makes a difference. Takes away the harsh edge, which may allow me to go ahead and boost it up just a pinch. Yeah. Boost all those up. From 10% opacity, let's go. That one that could stay at that. Let's go with this one. There we go. Cool. That's 12. Let's go 30. And let's take this up to 20. All right. Now to add in the final touch, which is the we love our church. All right, what type of font are we going to use? Probably some type of cool cursive. Let's see. And I'm not really much of a big guy on fonts, but when I see cool ones, it's like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and grab it because I may never know if I'm going to use it or not. So let's see. And I'll stop there. Love. Command return to get out of it. our church. And let's see, what font was that I used in Illustrator? That was, let's see, character. The Zala. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to We and go to our fonts. Let's see, Zala. Zala script. That looks cool. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna blow that up. And we'll take the word love. Probably keep it like that. Take art, R. Zala. Ooh. And that looks like that might work. Let's see. Probably change that to, because that R is really fancy. I think that might work. Let's see, which one, guys? Definitely not that. I'm thinking, yeah, I think that'll work. Something simple. We love our church. Everybody loves the church. All right, let's go back to love. And then let's go to church. And that looks like that might just work. Or, let's see, let's take church. Let's move it up here. Move it up. Cool. And we're going to put all that text in a group here and call it text. So in case we need to just grab the whole thing, you can just grab the whole thing. Okay, cool. Let's see. Now I know it's like, again, not having a whole lot to work with, because he didn't want, like, you know, church address and stuff like that. He probably would have gave it to me. He wanted it all like that. But let's see. God is doing a new thing. He wants that to be on in that also. So let's see. Let's take this heart. Let's take let's take this heart. Let's move it over. Let's take this text. And let's move it over. And let's go ahead and put another blur, little glow thingy right here on top of the heart. And let's pull that up a little bit. Okay, let's put in take their names, put it up on top. Cool. And then we're just gonna put over here, God is doing a new thing right here in this area, and then we'll call it quits. Again, something that's just new and quick, or something quick. And a lot of it is like, again, it's like trial and error. It's just kind of like just working from nothing and just coming up with something. All right, let's see. That looks cool. I can use that. Let's go with God. Let's up that, and we're going to pull a color. All right. Probably tone it down just a little bit. Little typography stuff here. God. I'm gonna put is. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. Cool. That is, I'm gonna put doing directly up underneath it. God is doing a new thing. Oh, is he? All right, cool. And then we're going to take that is, copy it, bring it down. A new and then we're gonna put thing. Put thing here. Line it up. Take that A. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Let's go with putting it like a little smaller. Or maybe a little bit bigger. And then moving it over. Move that over. A new thing. I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. That and A. All right. And I'm going to make that small. Take thing. Drag that up. I just make thing a little bit bigger too. Cool. And then what I'll do is I'll put this all in one big folder. group all that text. And I might just go ahead and throw a filter on top of that whole thing. A gradient, perhaps, of some sort. Let's go with gradient overlay. And instead of it being that, let's try color burn. Okay. Or multiply. Color dodge. I don't think that's doing too much of anything. We got linear. What about angle? Angle, no. Reflected or diamond, no. Trying to find something that works cool. Let's see. Probably change this color to like a dark green. An olive green. And that's cool enough. Something subtle. And let's go with, let's see what inner glow does. The inner shadow. Inner glow. It kind of helps out a little bit. Takes some of the edge off. And choke. That's cool. Cool. So that's just something that's just real quick. I just kind of threw some really quick elements together. Save that joint. Let's see, Evergreen, the Evergreen Church. Let's see. Also, if I had the opportunity to do it from like scratch, I would definitely start with like the logo. But when it comes to receiving photos from churches, see if you can get a get it like on a green screen. Like nothing. Like if you can tell a pastor, like, look, if you're gonna get photos done, get it done on a professional background. That's cool. But then for PR purposes or public relation, graphic design purposes, get some done on a green screen. Yes, it looks horribly ugly, but trust me, when it comes to getting the work done quick, your designer is going to love you, because the cutout process is going to be a whole lot better. And then when it comes to getting your logo, like he didn't have a vector of his logo. So yesterday I just took what he gave me and I just vectorized the image. And then it took me some time to go through and to actually find the font that matched what he had up here. And I had to go online and find this font. And I knew that it wasn't much that went into the lettering of the logo, but this dove, I'm like, okay, I don't know where you got that from. He doesn't know where it came from. And I'm like, okay, you need this to be done. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick trace, and whatever comes out, that's what comes out, and that's what we're gonna work with. And yeah, I really didn't have time to be like, okay, what's your church colors and all that type of stuff. And then plus it was just something that he just done quickly. Things that could really also spruce this up is having a congregational type shot in the background. people worshiping, because again, you're talking about we, like we love our church, and I don't want it to be like it come across as being like just these two. They, you know, they love their church and that's it. Uh, yeah, like those are some of the basic things that come to my mind. So on that note, let's see, we're going to stop sharing. Hey, what's going on? Even though you popped in here, Deshaun, that's what's up. But yeah, for everybody else who tuned in, thank you guys for watching the show. You can like, comment, you can share, all that stuff. Leave your own tips. You can say, I didn't like it. That's fine. That's cool. You can say, I liked it, but I would do this different. That's cool too. And because it's all about our learning process. It's all about sharing with one another, and it's pouring more into the community. But I do thank you for your time and appreciate it. Love you guys. And like always, like I always say, put forth your best. And until next time, tune in next week or whenever. I plan on going ahead and putting the show up to my show. I am Bernard Fields, your multimedia designer. Peace in, guys, and confusion out.